Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Since too much different time zone, we have no choice but sending the recorded version of our collaboration. But I believe it will be also help us to understand our understanding about SDGs and also culture each country. So this class will be collaborate with Ecuador teacher Juanita Sotamba, and we will send this record version to you, and then please send yours to us, and then I will combine two video clip as a one video. So before we start, let me introduce us. My name is Hyunsu Cho. I'm teacher of Korean International School in Ho Chi Minh City, and our students also came from two different schools, but both are Korean International School located in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. So, Chichol, would you introduce yourself first?
Hello everyone, I'm Chicho Choi from Korean International School, and let's have a good time.
Okay, next, Seohyun.
Hello everyone, my name is Seon Kim, and I'm really glad to meet you all.
Next, Minsu.
Hello everyone, my name is Minsu and I'm glad to be here.
Next, Yejin.
Hello, my name is Yejin and welcome to our class.
Next, Minhyuk.
Hello, my name is Park Min-hyuk and I wish we could have a wonderful time today.
And last but not least, our today presenter, Yeojin Kim.
Hello, my name is Yajin. I hope we have a wonderful time, and I'll be leading today's classes.
All right, so let me share our daily video clip, daily life of video clip. So I hope you enjoy this video clip. Yes, it was our school bell. So can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
All right.
One minute each to present them. Finally, each team will share a 30-second closing statement.
This is our home. Look at this field of students, field of education, field of enthusiasm all over the school. This is one of our school's classrooms. As you can see, all the students are collaborating and being positive about work and our projects and our necessity to build a grateful future in our work. This is a creative space room of our school.
Hello, everyone.
All right. This was our video clip of daily life of both schools. So this stage, we will going to introduce about SDG number 1, and it will be led by Yajin Kim. So Yajin, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, please share your screen.
Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Greetings to all. My name is Yajin Kim, and I'll be leading today's class explaining SDG.1, specifically which refers to no poverty. Poverty has been an ongoing issue throughout the world for centuries, and I'm pretty sure that all of you guys will have seen pictures of the poorest people around the world like this. As can be seen, for the sake and the preserved rights for all individuals, poverty eradication must be one of the most prioritized goals to be resolved. Poverty eradication is a matter of justice and the key to unleashing the vast potential of people, not of charity. Even still, about half of the world's population is still in poverty, and each day of the year, thousands of people die from hunger and a lack of access to clean water. By working together, we can end world hunger, eradicate illness, and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to thrive and live fulfilling lives. Globally, the number of people living in extreme poverty declined from 36% in 1990 to 10% in 2015 as the Millennium Development Goals conducted before the SDGs targeted to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. But the pace of change is decelerating, and the COVID-19 crisis risks reversing decades of progress in the fight against poverty. New research published by the UN New World Institute for Development Economics Research warns that the economic fallout from the global pandemic could increase global poverty by as much as 500 million people, or 8% of the total human population. This will be the first time that poverty has increased globally in 30 years since 1990. This can be seen in the following infographic. More than 700 million people, or 10% of the world's population, still live in extreme poverty today, struggling to fulfill the most basic needs like health, education, and access to water and sanitation, to name a few. The infographic also reveals that if the current trend goes on, there will still be more than 575 million people living in extreme poverty by 2030. Even 7 years past from this very moment, not many people will be free from their poor conditions and lives. The majority of people living on less than $1.9 a day live in sub-Saharan Africa. Worldwide, the poverty rate in rural areas is 17.2%, more than 3 times higher than in urban areas. For those who work, having a job does not guarantee a decent living. In fact, 8% of employed workers and their families worldwide lived in extreme poverty in 2018. 1 out of 5 children live in extreme poverty. Therefore, ensuring social protection for all children and other vulnerable groups is critical to reduce poverty. While SDG1 has the representing goal of all, there are a number of sub-goals that belong to number 1 on the poverty. Target 1.1 refers to eradicating extreme poverty. It aims to do so by 2030, eradicating extreme poverty for all people everywhere, currently measured as people living on less than $1.25 a day. Target 1.2 targets to reduce poverty at least 50%. To be more specific, its goal is to reduce at least by half of the proportion of men, women, and children of all ages living in poverty in all its dimensions according to national definitions. Target 1.3 aims to implement social protection systems. By implementing nationally appropriate social protection systems and measures for all, including floors, and by 2030 achieve substantial coverage of the poor and the vulnerable. Target 1.4 goals equal rights to ownership, basic services, technology, and economic resources. It states that by 2030, they will ensure all men and women, in particular the poor and the vulnerable, have equal rights to economic resources, as well as access to basic services, ownership and control over lands and other forms of property, inheritance, natural resources, appropriate new technology and financial services, including microfinance. Target 1.5 aims to build resilience to environmental, economic, and social disasters. By 2030, build the resilience of the poor and those in vulnerable situations, and reduce their exposure and vulnerability to climate-related extreme events and other economic, social, and environmental shocks and disasters. Target 1.8 states the goal to mobilize resources to implement policies to end poverty. Ensure significant mobilization of resources from a variety of sources, including through enhanced development cooperation, in order to provide adequate and predictable means for developing countries, in particular least developed countries, to implement programs and policies to end poverty in all its dimensions. Finally, Target 1.B aims to create pro-poor and gender-sensitive policy frameworks. Specifically, it mentions to create sound policy frameworks at the national, regional, and international levels based on pro-poor and gender-sensitive development strategies to support accelerated investment in poverty eradication actions. When these specific goals are achieved, we can finally say that the goal of SDG.1 has accomplished, banishing extreme and all kinds of poverty, in particular, the most vulnerable people around the world. Now I'd like to introduce what our class learned and studied through the SDGs class last semester. This is the format of our class used to case study SDG.1, and I'm going to show it to you guys specifically step by step. First is comprehending and analyzing the provided infographic. The given infographic in the presentation slide is from the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2022. The infographic provided tells us that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, 4 years of progress against poverty has been erased, and that the global inflation and Russian-Ukraine war is even delaying the progress of eradicating poverty. Also, the working poverty rate rose for the first time in the last 20 years, pushing an additional 8 million workers to poverty. Lastly, the unemployment benefit, which is an incentive that the government provides to people that are willing to have a job but are unable, drastically reduced during the pandemic. The overall information is inferring that the COVID-19 pandemic, inflation, and war has delayed or is delaying the procedures of the eradication of global poverty. So after taking a look at the infographic, we wrote what we know and what we wonder regarding the SDG.1 before the case study. First, I wrote down that the knowledge I'm already aware of in the what I know sector. As can be seen, I mentioned that the question of eradicating poverty has been a serious problem for decades, and that the progress of eradicating poverty has been delayed due to COVID-19. In the what I wonder part, I raised a point that the ultimate factors that cause poverty throughout the world and any ways to boost the delayed eradication of poverty due to COVID-19. With such curiosities, we move on to the next stage. We first enter the website to review and take a look at the GMPI. So this is the case study paper we've conducted. We first entered the website called the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative that shows the GMPI, which refers to the Global Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index. GMPI is an index introduced by the United Nations Development Program in 2010 to measure poverty beyond income-based measures. The GMPI assesses poverty based on 3 dimensions: health, education, and standards of living, using 10 indicators such as nutrition, child mortality, years of schooling, and access to electricity and clean drinking water. The index also considers the severity of deprivation in each dimension and the overlap of deprivations across the dimensions. Lastly, it is used to identify countries and regions where poverty is most severe and to design policies and programs to address the root causes of poverty. After all case studies in the SDGs lesson, I feel what I learned sector. I wrote that after all activities, I learned that the United Nations and countless organizations were working so hard to solve this poverty issue for decades. And this is because I thought that if the issue of poverty is not solved for decades, from the 20th centuries till now, there must be problems with the organizations that are dealing with poverty eradication. So, to conclude, through all these activities, I recognize the causes of poverty throughout the world by categorizing the causes and reasons of poverty. Not only that, since the GMPI indicates three dimensions of poverty, I could also learn solutions to each kind of poverty. Okay, so finally, we've finished the case study of SDG.1 and moved on to another SDG study. And I believe that the SDGs lesson enabled us to fully be aware of particular SDG goals. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for sharing your presentation about SG number 1, and we've learned a lot of things. And also, we also reviewed the SDG1 teaching materials that we have learned in previous semester. So, shall we go to the next stage? Next stage, I'd like to share a video clip about K-culture. Our students have made this video clip in advance, and I hope you enjoy.
We are students from KIS, and today we will give you guys a presentation about introducing the culture of Korea. First, I'll start off with introducing the economy of South Korea. After the Korean War, South Korea underwent a remarkable economic transformation. Faced with post-war devastation, the country adopted an export-driven industrialization strategy, emphasizing mainly on manufacturing and global trade. And this approach generated foreign currency and attracted foreign investments, propelling South Korea's economic growth and development. Here in Korea, we often use the term the miracle of Han River, which refers to Korea's economic transformation and development. People often compare the economic progress of South Korea to a miracle, as it defied the odds of a war-torn country and became an economic powerhouse in just a few decades. Now the term has become an integral part of Korea's modern history and society. Large companies such as Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and SK Group all play a significant role in the country's industrialization and diversified their business and expanded internationally. According to a recent survey, many Koreans are attracted to working at a company called Kakao, which is a leading South Korean technology company that operates a diverse range of services and platforms, and is the dream job of many Koreans since it is known for its innovative and dynamic work culture.
I will introduce popular food of Korea. First of all, kimchi is a delicious food made by mixing the cabbage we usually eat with red pepper and various condiments, and it has a deep scent and spicy taste. Kimchi especially has the properties of making our body healthy, so the taste is more preferred. Next is bibimbap. Bibimbap is a food that can be eaten freely because it contains a lot of healthy foods on its own. We can add some sesame oil. Enjoy the taste while mixing various ingredients and become. The next food I'm going to introduce is rice cake soup. Tteokguk is a food that is eaten on Lunar New Year, a traditional Korean event. First of all, this food is made based on rice cakes and has foods such as delicious eggs attached on it. Another food, red bean porridge, plays a role in chasing away ghosts, so it is often eaten in winter, which is famous for the legend of many ghosts.
Everyone here has heard about BTS and Blackpink. In a 2022 survey conducted across 26 countries, around 15.6% of respondents stated that the K-pop genre is popular in their country for its catchy rhythm and choruses. While BTS are by no means a new phenomenon, they are picking up new fans all the time. BTS are the pride of Korea as they represent K-pop and spread the flow of K-pop throughout the world. A trusted media called Fansided researches fandom of popular culture every year and announces the rankings. In such a credible medium, BTS was ranked first in the 2021 Global Music Fandom Ranking, beating the fandom of prominent American singers. Since debuting in 2016, Blackpink has been one of the most well-known artists of Asia. Besides climbing up the charts with their well-received releases and catchy tunes, the quartet of Lisa, Jennie, Rose, and Jisoo has been ranking in numerous firsts. Not only that, they were the first K-pop girl group to not only perform at Coachella, but the first Asian act to headline the festival. K-dramas and K-movies are also gaining popularity worldwide, as there are numerous OTT platforms such as Netflix, YouTube, and Disney+. I am quite confident that most of you are aware of Squid Game. Released on September 17th of 2021, Squid Game is now the most popular series in the platform's history, and the most popular debut of any show on Netflix, with more than 111 million viewers.
Next is Korea traditional sports. The first one is Taekwondo. Taekwondo is a Korea traditional martial arts sport. It usually uses kicks while wearing a uniform called adobok, and is taught to a wide range of people, including soldiers, police, and students, because it is more practical for real-world use. Taekwondo consists of three main parts: pumse, sparring, and demonstration. Taekwondo pumse is a set of basic movements and techniques that mimic real-world scenarios and are an important part of improving practitioners' skills and abilities. Sparring has been adopted by many international competitions, including the Olympics, and involves kick to the head and body to earn points. Demonstration combines sparring and pumse and has recently become more popular, with several famous demonstrators participating in international programs such as America's Got Talent and The World Best. The second is Sirim. This is a traditional martial art that emphasizes actual physical combat and has many more techniques. Also, it has a history of thousands of years. South Korea recently has 4 professional sports leagues. These are the KBO for baseball, the K-League for soccer, the KBL for basketball, and the KOBO for volleyball.
Sejong the Great is one of the most famous kings in Korea. He is best known for his development of Hangul, which is the phonetic system for the Korean language. The creation of an easily learned alphabet facilitated the achievement of literacy among the Koreans. However, he made so much more astonishing improvements that developed our country other than making Hangul. First, in the scientific field, water clock, also known as the Taegyeongru, consisted of a set of bronze and ceramic vessels. The water flowed through these vessels and gathered in the clock's containers. Upon reaching a specific level, the water would trigger a lever, releasing metal beads that would strike the clock's bells and drums. The clock was designed to satisfy a king's important duties, for example, informing the Koreans the exact time of the day. Second, in an agricultural field, an agricultural book, also known as a 농사직설, was made. This book explains almost every single thing about ways to develop agriculture in Korea. The public could enhance their field and gain more crops and money. So, 농사직설 was one of the factors that helped grow the agricultural system in Korea.
Next, I'm going to talk about the Korean traditional architecture called Hanok. So, what is Hanok? The term Hanok is a combination of 2 Korean words, Han meaning Korean, and Ok meaning house. One of the examples of Hanok village is Bukchon in Seoul, Korea. It was inhabited by Korean nobles over 600 years ago, and today, residents continue the tradition of the village. Next up is the ondol heating system. Ondol is one of the most distinctive features of Hanok, an underfloor heating system that uses heated stones or flues to warm the floor and to radiate heat throughout the living space. This system has been used for centuries, and it's still appreciated for its energy efficiency and comfort during cold winters. The roof design of Hanok hits different. The design of Hanok makes harmony with nature, the layout and structure of hanok, the materials such as wood, stone, and red soil are eco-friendly materials. That's it for our presentation, and thanks for listening.
All right. So this is what we prepared to introduce our Korean culture. And I believe you have many questions about not only SDGs, but also Korean culture. So I just prepared a question and answer sheet on the link that I gave to the teacher. So if you go to the number 1 tab, Ecuador, you can leave the questions to Korea over here, and then our students will leave the answers over here. And also, if you send the video link of yours, then we will leave the questions over here, and please do vice versa. And the next one is our ePoll platform. If you go to this site again, and then you can find there are 6 students over here. So you click each one of them, then you can find their information over here so that you can be a friend of them. And if you have any chance, please leave yours too on the map. Just click this button and then drag the pin to over your territory or nation, and then leave your information too. So I hope you and our students be a friend to the future. All right. So this is what we prepared, and I hope you enjoy our video clip and learn a lot of things from our video clip too. So we will wait till we get the video clip of yours, and see you again. Thank you so much. Bye.